Hey guys, it's Maymay and my trusty sidekick.
What up? Vinny here.
Vinny is in the house with me today. So I'm super excited. And first off, let me say, how controversial are these fidget spinners? Have you noticed that? They are so controversial. Like, I saw on Facebook, somebody will post something about a fidget spinner. And if you look at the comments, it's like, oh, I love those things. Oh, I hate those things. It is so funny how controversial they are. I happen to love them. I'm sorry. I am a creative person whose mind is going 90 to nothing all the time. And for me, this is a great outlet. Now, I'm not saying I'm sitting in church using my fidget spinner, or I'm not sitting in a business meeting using my fidget spinner. But you know what? If I'm sitting at home, I enjoy it. So, don't knock it till you try it, okay? But I wanted to bring something new to you guys, okay? Check this out. I have worked for a week on this dude, and it works. Are you ready? Check it out. Ready? Now, it's on paper. It's not going to spin as fast as this guy, okay? Or as long as this guy. It's not the same thing. But it'll go pretty fast considering. And I've got it laid down, so holding it up, you can get a better knock on it. There we go. Pretty neat, right? So I thought I would show you guys how to make this fidget spinner card. And for you grandparents out there, you don't have to know what it is. Just know if you make this for one of your kids, they're gonna love it. And they're gonna totally think you are too hip, right? So let's make a fidget spinner card. By the way, I have a free Cricut cut file for you. I have a free SVG for you if you don't use Cricut and you use, say, a Silhouette machine or any other machine. And I also have a free PDF for you. So there's no one who can't make it, okay? There's a pattern or a file for everybody. It will be in the blog post that I link below, and it'll also be a blog post over on our website, which is maymaymadeit.com. So there's a free file for everybody. Let's get to it. Oh, couple things. Because I know people want to see how to make this, and they're probably only coming here to see this, okay? Then let's try to keep the first questions to the card itself and how we're putting this together. And then after that, we can answer other questions. Oh, and if you stick around, I have a sneak peek for the scripture set that ships today. So let's try to wait on that, because I want to make sure if you come watch this, if you only want to see the fidget spinner, we're going to show you that first. All right, so the Cricut cut file looks like this. This is the fidget portion, okay? These little guys, they're black. I hope they show up on the screen. There's 3 little black circles. They are these inner pieces here, okay? They actually hide the pennies. That's right, there's 3 pennies under here. I left my pennies in the other room. I'm gonna have to get Josh to bring, can you text Josh to bring me those 3 pennies? But these hide pennies, and that's what gives it some weight so it can spin, okay? And then these guys are what are going to create sort of the washer or the ball bearing effect. And when you're cutting this out, okay, you're going to cut 12 of these. And when you open the Cricut file, there'll be 12 of them. Your SVG is going to have 12, and your PDF will have 12. Now, if you're doing this with a PDF file, here's what I think. Just cut this using the PDF. Okay, and then use like circle punches for these. I can tell you what size they are too. But the PDF, they're in there if you want to trace around them and cut them out. This is a 1-inch circle. So if you have a circle punch, just do that to save yourself some time. Okay, so let's put it together. Don't need these 3 black ones just yet. I'm going to use the red ones. I want to take 6 of them. So we're going to do 2, 4, 6, and 6. That's how we're separating them. And some glue. I'm going to use art glitter glue. It's all I ever use. Here's what I want to caution you on. I'm going to put the glue kind of central. I did not clean this off when I put it up. Remember how I tell you how to clean this off? If you don't, you get that little bit that kind of stays up there, so just wipe that off. Okay, so we're going to put a little glue right here. I promise we are. What is wrong with my glue? Here's the trick. Ready? Pokey tool. I don't know why it's doing that. I put my lid on. Okay. Let's try it again. A little bit of glue. Keep your glue to the center of the washer. Here's why. You don't want the glue to get into the hole in the middle. That needs to stay just paper in there, okay? Because we need that to be smooth for the brad. You're going to need a brad, by the way, from your own stash, or you might need to pick up some brads, but you will use a brad. I'm going to glue 6 of these guys together. We're basically thickening up the center piece. It's kind of like making our own paper washer. So So I'm just gluing 6, and we're going to glue the other 6. I see people saying good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Yep, folks saying hello.
I know we're going to have some trolls because I did call this a fidget spinner, and it is a fidget spinner. So if we do, don't worry. Our troll patrol is there. It's not Tuesday. I'm doing this one special because so many people have been messaging me because I made the mistake of saying something about the fidget spinner that was coming. And a lot of people messaged me, and I'm like, I better get that done. So check this out. Look how thick this gets. Pretty thick, right? There's 6 of them glued together. Here we go. I'm going to do the other one too. All right, so just some glue in the center. You don't have to go crazy, just stick them together. Now, if you're making this from the PDF and you're gonna punch this center circle in here, that circle, oh, that's not the right one. That one's too big. That circle is about, it's a little more than 1/8. Okay, I had to do that on the Cricut and make it a little more than 1/8 for my brad. But if you're going to be making one at home using that PDF, just make sure the hole is just slightly larger than your brad. Not too large, because if you get it too large, it won't spin well. You want it just slightly larger than your brad. That is not bigger. They just feel bigger when I'm putting it together.
Are you using cardstock or just paper?
I am using cardstock, and this is some Nina Textures, which I love, this Nina Texture paper because it's just really sturdy. I would suggest you're going to need an 80 pound or higher for this. 60 pound, and I'll show you. Let me go to the card real quick. Because we're putting pennies here, this can get a little wiggly, and if you did like a 65 pound, it would probably drag a lot. You want to be careful. The drag is what slows it down. So you're going to need a sturdier cardstock. This goes together very quick and very easy. Now that we've done this, I'm going to put a little glue around the center circle there on this cutout, okay? And then I'm going to stick one washer down, lining up the circle. See that? If you're not sure if your circle's lined up, I got my pokey tool dirty, but you can take your pokey tool and stick it in there and just kind of check it and see how I moved it so I can make sure everything's lined up like it should be, okay? And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put this one on the back. I have a PDF, an SVG, and a Cricut cut file for this. I covered everybody in this one. I wasn't about to leave anybody out. So just line all that stuff up. Buttons are a good idea. If you don't want to use pennies, you could also use washers. If you have like, see I got some glue in there, make sure if you get glue in there, you clean it out or you push it all the way to the edges so it's not in your way when you start spinning it. You could use washers. I talked to Vince about that this morning. I was like, you know, I might want to get some washers, but pennies work well. Did we get our pennies?
I have requested them, but they have not arrived.
Gonna need them pretty soon. Okay, so here is the basic spinner portion. Right, so watch this. Now I'm gonna tell you, you can make this into a fidget spinner all by itself, and I will show you how, but we're gonna go ahead and keep it going to put it on the card. All right. So, oh, you had pennies. Look at you. He had pennies. So we can put these on. I'll put them on later.
Exactly 3. What a blessing.
That is a blessing. Okay, so here's a card front. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 card front. Okay, you can put this on any card you want. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Okay, I'm going to lay this sort of to the top. Did she dig into her couch? That's funny. Joe said, "Daddy Warbucks."
Yeah.
That was funny. Was there something else I missed? Hey, was there something I missed? That was funny.
She called me Daddy Warbucks. We have guests from Texas in the front row.
Oh, goodness. All right, we'll be just a few minutes. Okay, so now that I've laid this onto my card base, what I want to do is take my pokey tool, or you can use a straight pin or whatever you have. I want you to take that, and you're just going to poke this through and make a hole in your card front. Now, listen to me. This is very important. Do not poke a hole the size of this here. You can't do that. If you do that, it's going to mess you up. Don't make the same size hole here. We want this hole to hold our brad in place, okay? So don't do that. Make that hole just the right size. I'm going to use these brads that I have been using like crazy. They're just regular old brads. And I'm going to pull out one of these black ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this brad through the top of our fidget spinner, okay? I'm going to then force it through this little poked hole I've made. The reason is I need it to be a little snug. Okay, I don't want a big hole. I want this to hold pretty still. Okay, so if I do it too tight, this won't spin. So let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to flip this over. Okay, pay attention. This is important. I'm going to use this piece of my pokey tool. You could also use, where's an embossing tool? You could also use, hold on, I'm trying to pick it up. You could also use an embossing tool like this piece here. But what we're going to do is we're going to lay this beside the brad. So I'm going to close one of those prongs of the brads down, but it's not going to tighten because I'm blocking it with my tool. I'm going to pick this up and show you what I'm talking about. Do you see how my tool is keeping it from going flat? That's what we want to do, okay? Then I'm going to come on the other side and do the same thing. I'm not going to let it get flat. I'm just closing it on top of that tool. So now I'll have this gap, and that's what we need because the gap is what's going to make it spin. Now it's all right now, but it needs some weight to really spin, okay? So now I'm going to take these pennies and these little black dots. I'm going to put some glue in the middle. And here's something I've learned. If you'll put kind of a dollop in the middle, not too much, then put your penny down, that glue will kind of spread out on that penny and kind of lock itself in, and it won't smear out everywhere. Just let that sit for a second. They're super easy to do. Oh, I told you I wanted to show you how you can make it a fidget spinner. If you don't attach it to the card and you just kind of barely close that brad and then maybe put a circle on top of that, especially back here, you don't really need a circle here, but if you put another punch circle on the back, you could just hold it in your hand like a fidget spinner too. And that way you can use that those files I gave you for anything. You can use the Cricut file to make the card, or you can do the PDF or the SVG. Now, you're only going to get the fidget spinner stuff in your card kit, okay? You're not going to get the card and stuff like this. This is just a square cut, so you can do that on your own. Any questions so far about this, or?
People just saying different things.
This is a wheat penny.
Susie Q said you could use a thin piece of chipboard for spacing.
You can, and let me say this to you. The reason I did it this way, originally I just wanted this to be a Cricut cut file. That was the plan. I'm letting these dry for just a second. I was just going to make a Cricut cut file, and then I thought that won't be fair, and I would not like that if I was somebody who wanted it myself. So then I thought I'd make an SVG and a PDF. Well, the PDF file, you can use it to cut out any material. So once you cut out the PDF and get the pattern, you can cut out light chipboard, cardboard, you can cut out multiple layers and glue them together. Once you have this pattern, you can do anything you want with it. Now I'm gonna put a little glue in the middle. Do y'all see how fast this goes together? Once you cut it out, it is super fast and in a hurry. Put some more glue here. Stick that one down. These may not be lined up perfectly center because I'm not over the top. Do whatever lining up you like to do there. And then one more time over here. This is so fun to do. It took me a while, y'all. I've been working on this, I say a week. I guess I started working on it. I was working on it before I said something about it in the live. Yes, you can do this with your, I saw the thing when I glanced at Vince. Yes, you can do this in your Scan and Cut. Any of the files except the Cricut file. You can do the SVG or the PDF. Yep, you can. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for a second. I need to turn it over, but I need to let it sit for just a second. So, any question while I'm letting that sit for a second? Oh, she's so funny, Miss Joan. Your fidget spinner sure makes sense. That's my 3 cents I just put in. All right, I'm gonna flip this over. They may not be quite dry, and if they move, I'll show you my original one. She's on a roll. Too funny, y'all. You're too funny. All right, I'm going to cut some foam tape. And next to this piece, this brad in the back, I'm going to put some foam tape down because I want this to be lifted off of my card base. Just a little bit, because I don't want this to get squished when I attach this to the card. And I'm actually going to double layer this foam just because this is a little bit skinny foam. You can use your foam squares, but I had this tape and I thought I'll just use it. Pick this up off the back. There we go. Let's cut some more pieces. Oh, thank y'all. But see, I got glue on it. I need to clean it first. Here, clean that off for me and put the top back on it. Oh, I like having an assistant. That's nice. All right, so I'm double layering this only because it's thin. If you have thicker foam tape, don't worry about double layering. So what this will do, let me explain this again. By putting this foam tape here, it'll keep that brad, move my fingers, it'll keep that brad from getting smushed and on the back of the card. And then, because it might poke through the back of the card when it's smushed. So it's just a precaution. All right. Now then, I am going to add some more foam tape. I may not have cut enough foam. We'll see. I may just have to do a couple pieces. Vince is quiet today. Why are you quiet, Vinny?
I'm just paying attention.
Well, say hello.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to everyone. I'm foam taping. They know how to do foam tape.
So what's up, everybody?
Now you can talk to Vinny.
How you doing? Hey, it won't be long now.
Has everybody joined your Facebook group yet?
Well, a lot of people have. A lot of people have.
This takes a minute.
Very excited.
Especially live.
I have been trying to come up with as many different recipes to start out as I could. I think I found a few winners, maybe.
Any ideas for us?
Nah. Let the cat out the bag.
See? It's different when the shoe's on the other foot, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not. It's you and me.
I think I did get enough of this. Let's just see. Lay another piece down here. I gotta trim that off. It's like watching paint dry.
Valerie asked, is the foam tape going to keep the brad from spinning?
Nope. The point is it'll keep it from getting squished. The brad's going to spin anyway because of the way we did the closure. But I don't want it to come through the back of the card, if that makes sense. All right. Didn't quite give myself enough, so I'm just going to...
You got a little foam tape on there, right?
Well, it looks like a lot because I had to double layer it. It's really not as much as you think.
Oh, that's really cool. Christine says she was watching the Air Force Thunderbirds practice for the Air Force Academy graduation.
Goodness, that would be
How
so
cool.
Cool. That would be cool. We got to see them in Montgomery one time. Remember that? That was fun. I used to see them when I lived in Pensacola. They practiced. And I'd just be outside and they'd fly over. It was really cool, y'all. It was very majestic. Unless they got low. Then it was very loud and scary. All right, just a couple of pieces here because I didn't cut enough to cover the whole thing. It will be fine. I just want the levels to be the same. And then we're going to put this on the card front. So the boring part will be over. And then you'll get to see it spin.
I wonder if Renee has been hacked. That was a little strange.
Well, let's hope not. Okay, last one. All right, so to your card base, Batman. I went ahead and scored mine so we wouldn't have to do it now because I felt like that foam tape would take me a minute. I'm going to close this down and crease it with my bone folder. And then this is going to happen. We're going to line this up on the top of our card. Then I'm going to show you why the foam tape in the back. So the foam tape that we did is keeping that brad from pushing through here because eventually it would. Okay, so see that? Check it out. Works perfect. It works perfect. Look at that. How cool. I love it. Now I'm going to show y'all something, right? So I put Take It for a Spin on mine because I think that's really cute. And you know how I did it? Do you want to know? With sticker sheets. I have all of these stickers, right? And I never use them all. So yeah, the art glitter glue holds them good. Look, I put this on. I put this one together this morning. So it's really holding together. I mean, they're holding together perfect. I love it. We've been walking around spinning it most of the day. Most of the morning. I guess I put it together about 8:30. I had it all together. So I do not have it all together, y'all. I just had this card together. Did you like that?
You did too.
I do not have it all together. Would you agree?
That is so interesting.
What?
Well, I don't want to get into it, but
You're so funny.
it's interesting.
So let me ask you a question. How many of your kids would love for you to show up with this as their card? Come on, it'd be so cool. I just want to play around with these spinners, right? Check it out.
It is Vinnie's Vittles.
Yeah, I know my kids will love these. Plus, Here's another thing. If you're doing something for the summer with your kids and they want to make one of these or make it into a card, let them design it with different colored papers. I did mine to kind of match mine, and y'all know I love red, black, and white, right? So let them come into the craft room and match papers or do what they want. Thomas, his spinner that he swears that me and Samantha lost, but I don't remember losing it. But his was basketball. So like the paper was pattern paper, or would be pattern paper. It was really cute. So there you go. There is our fidget spinner card. Now, I want to give you the sneak peek of the scripture stamp set, but here's what I'm going to do, if y'all don't mind. I'm going to close this one out so that anybody that wants to get just the fidget spinner can get that and not have to hang out. Then I'm going to start a new live and we'll talk about the new scripture set. And then if you have store questions and stuff, it won't be interfering, and I know not everybody's interested in all that. So here we go. There's your fidget spinner card. The blog will be posted in just a little bit. Will be linked under here, under this video. But if you don't see it there, just head to maymaymadeit.com, and Tamitha is putting our blog up for you guys so you can get all the links. Okay? All right. We'll see you in a few minutes. Love ya.
Give us about 15 minutes.
15. Okay. 15 minutes. Bye, y'all.